Om Shanti. Welcome to today's episode of Masters of Change. To improve is to change, but to be perfect is to change often. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. So to help us grow with change, today we have with us, welcome, Sister Sonia is here with us from Denmark.
Thank you.
Hi sister, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And can you tell us about your journey, where it all started from and how did spirituality come to you?
I'm from Sweden.
Yeah.
I'm from the countryside.
Right.
And my parents are farmers. And so I grew up in the Swedish forest. And some of the earliest memories I have is walking in the forest and connecting to the trees and the sky and just feeling totally connected and safe.
Right, correct.
And I suppose that experience of the nature and environment has stayed with me always. Yeah.
Correct.
And my mum, she studied to become a nurse, and I liked that idea. So I also I became a nurse, and I thought I could travel to developing countries and help and do service in the hospital care.
Okay.
So that was my future career plan.
Right.
And I became a vegetarian in Sweden at that time, and that was
At what age?
I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you take this decision to become vegetarian? Anything happened, or it was just a conscious decision?
I actually started to eat less and less meat for various reasons. I don't know why. Maybe I actually had some friends who were vegetarians, and I loved their cooking.
Right.
So I ate less and less meat, and then I just made me a bit sick.
Okay. So it happened all naturally.
Yes, very natural. And then I thought, let me move to London for a while. There they have these whole food shops, vegetarian shops, big shops. They hadn't come to Scandinavia at that time yet.
Right.
So I lived in London for a while. And the manager of the vegetarian shop, he used to go to Brahma Kumaris.
Oh.
And I could notice something with him. He was different.
Okay.
And I tried to probe him and ask, but he didn't really reply.
Oh.
So
what was different about him?
He was very sharp in ordering. He had many ideas, future plans. And I felt I had the same in me, but it didn't come out.
Okay.
I made many mistakes. I didn't believe in my plans. He was very good in connecting with people.
Right.
They came into the shop, asked for one thing, but they always walked out with something else.
Okay.
Because he had this art of connecting.
Right, correct.
And I know I could do the same, but I wasn't good at it.
Okay.
And I wonder, what is it he has?
Yeah.
What has he done that he can live his values and personality, and I can't? It's
so
all
he
stuck
inspired
in
you
here.
in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somehow I found out he used to go to the Brahma Kumaris. So I went in London. I was 24 now.
Okay.
And I took the course, 7-day course. The soul wasn't that interesting. Then we came to God. And I had actually left the Swedish church by then.
Okay.
I had an experience working in hospital of dying children, and I couldn't place it why children have to die. I thought it was injustice. And if God can't fix it, then religion is nothing for me. So I went out the day after and signed out from church. So when they talked about Supreme Soul and God, I thought, this is not me.
It didn't click with you.
It didn't click. But then you see, I've signed up for the course. I thought I should finish it.
Right.
But then
it was a 7-day course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we came to the lesson about the cycle and the tree. And that clicked.
Can you share us more about what clicked with you?
I thought it was amazing, especially the tree. And you have all the religions of the world have their own right. No religion is better than the other. They're all a branch of the tree. And there is no hierarchy. It's like natural coexistence.
Okay.
And
interesting.
at the core of the tree, the branches are very close. That means the values, the philosophies are very close.
Oh.
Yeah. And of course, as they grow out, they become more and more different. But at the core of their philosophy and existence, they are very, very close. And everyone all you and me, we are leaves on the tree, and we all have a place, naturally.
Yeah.
And we don't compete.
Correct.
Leaves don't compete, right?
Right, correct.
So I thought this tree was amazing. I looked at it, I understood it all. It was like the curtain of a very dull intellect went up for a while. I could see the universe, I understood it. And
This was on the third day, fourth day?
yeah, 450.
Okay. Till then you were just going ahead with it, you just wanted to complete the course.
No. And then the curtain went down again.
Oh, it went down again. All right.
And then I didn't have many experiences in meditation in the beginning.
Right.
I often felt sad when I started to meditate. It's like some suppressed sadness within came up.
Okay.
But I thought it was nice people. I went to one of the community houses in London, and there was normal people working, having normal jobs, connecting, looking very normal in a sense. But they have this spiritual gathering, spiritual community, which they met in the evenings, meditated in the evenings, did service together. And that kind of community living appealed to me a lot.
Okay.
You're still connected to the world, but you have your spirituality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I started to go in the morning class.
Okay.
And I had some experiences in taking drishti from one of the senior sisters.
Okay. What is drishti, if you can talk more about that?
Yeah, drishti is eye contact in meditation.
Okay.
So she looked at me, and I had no idea what it was. So I looked at the others, and so they were looking at her.
They were looking back.
So I looked at her.
It's like staring.
Yeah, staring. But I felt so peaceful. So peaceful. And you know, I'm a person, I always have things on the go, and I don't sit still very long, always moving.
Okay.
And I had a thought I could sit here the rest of my life.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, wow, Sonia, this is the biggest thought you've ever had. Wow. And then I felt that this power is not coming from her, it's coming from somewhere else. So I thought maybe there is a God after all.
And who was this? You were taking...
Sister Jayanti,
who
is the administrative head of Brahmakumaris.
Okay, so she was visiting there.
And this was in London. She lived in London.
She lived in London.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you believe in soul now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I started my journey to relate to God, and I started with Him as my friend.
Okay.
Because I like friends.
Yeah.
The basis of my life is friendships.
Right.
Friends is next to you.
Yeah.
Equal level.
Yeah.
And you bounce off ideas and support.
So God is your friend.
Yeah, first of all.
You share everything with.
Yeah. And then I learned to relate to God as mother and father and teacher.
Okay.
But favorite is friend.
Oh. So you have all the relationships with God.
This is a very big term. And I have all relationships with Him.
Okay.
But I also have relationship to other human beings in the same way. Not in the same way, but we have brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers in this world also.
Right.
So by having God there, you add a kind of divinity, a divine element to the other relationships.
Right. So it is so interesting to see this perspective. It's a different point of view. Mm. So you must have seen a lot of changes from what you used to be prior to all this meditation and spirituality, and then slowly you started believing in it. So what changes did you used to see inside of yourself that you can share with us?
Yeah, you see, it's a very big question, because as I assume through life, everyone changes.
Yeah, correct.
You get older, you have experiences, so you change.
Correct.
And I chose a spiritual path.
Correct.
So all my changes has been within this path, this spirituality.
Yeah.
So I suppose if I've chosen another path, I would also have changed.
Yeah, correct.
But the changes I have really appreciated is that I become more of me. I don't try to be other people or live other people's stories or think their lives are so good. And I realized it's just one Sonia out of 8 billion people. So I can live my life. I live it as best as I can and contribute as best as I can. And I do it together with God. And that gives me this kind of inner contentment and self-confidence.
Correct.
And we had a course within the Brahma Kumaris some 10-15 years ago about leadership, inner leadership.
Okay.
And we were asked the question, what's the purpose of your life?
Yeah.
And I thought it was such an interesting question.
Yeah.
And I realized that until then, I used to think I give my life to God and then we'll take it from there. And that served me very well.
Yeah, it has.
But then I realized that I also have an element in it. I take decisions, I make choices.
Yeah.
And so it's like I am also master of my own life. You have the title of the program, it's very nice, Master of Change. And I'm also master of my own life.
Yeah.
So I realized it's kind of 50-50. I still give my life to God, but I also play a part in it. And I take decisions and I shape and design my own life. And that sort of made me realize the power of my own thought.
Yeah.
And the power of my own decisions.
Right.
And how important it is.
Right.
Because either I want it or not, I shape my own life.
So what do you do when you're confused between two choices? What makes you decide which choice to take?
Well, I'm a feeling person, so I will go which feels right.
Okay.
And feelings sometimes deceive you. So then I would have to sit and meditate and make sure I connect to God and I get the pure feeling that this is
Do you
right.
receive the answers from God?
I don't receive voices or sound,
Sure.
but you know, it's like a close friend to me. You bounce off ideas and you get the feeling back. In this course also, we were asked, what's your kind of biggest contribution here in life? And I thought it was to create hope. So I understood why I often end up in hopeless situations, like working with dying children or working now in the prison for so long. I teach meditation and yoga in the prison.
Wow. How does that work? If you can share something about that.
Here you're dealing with people, mostly men, who are locked into one room 23 hours a day and they can't move and they can't get out and they get very restless.
Yeah.
No phone, no internet connection, no family connection.
Yeah.
And lots of thoughts.
Yeah.
So we do Hatha Yoga first, very hard Hatha Yoga for 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Sun greeting, this, that, and the other, some Qigong, and that makes the body very peaceful. Relaxed. And after that, we do some guided meditation about soul, supreme soul, about love.
Are they open
hope.
to receive all this?
Yeah.
They
love it.
They love it.
They love it.
Wow.
I have a longest waiting list. Me and football have the longest waiting list in school.
Okay.
A very popular class, meditation and yoga.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
If you can share some transformation of some people over there.
You see, I don't go in with an attitude of transforming someone's life, because 1 hour meditation in a week compared to the social conditioning, the background, the atmosphere, you know, if I think they will transform, I will just get disappointed and the work get too tough.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I'm available. I'm there with them that 1.5 hours. And I share their pain, I share my happiness, and we just connect on a heart level. And they see the light, they feel peaceful, they feel happy.
Yeah.
So that's the highlight of the week for many of them.
Correct.
But what they do with it, you know, if some people change, yes, and some don't.
Yeah.
And I never see them again.
Yeah.
So, but some come back, of course. We have people who do crime again when they come out, so I see them.
Yeah,
and then I ask, is it time for meditation again?
Does it give you happiness? I'm sure it must give you happiness by doing all this service that you're doing.
Yeah, it gives me happiness to be able to share. Most people would give happiness when you share good things. Eh?
Yeah.
It's a shared happiness, it's double happiness.
Correct.
Yeah. But it's also tough sometimes because
I'm sure.
the atmosphere is tough. It's like you have to go with them to their deepest pain. And so that will, you have to sort of also awaken things in you, eh?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
When did you come to India for the first time?
87, I think it was.
1987.
Yeah,
And it must have been a lot different from back there in Denmark.
yeah.
So, what did you like about India? What didn't you like about India? Few things that you can share, your experiences.
But you see, when I came to India, especially when I came to Mount Abu, it was like coming home.
Yeah?
So that home feeling.
Right.
It's like meeting my family.
Okay.
And like old souls, those who are at the bottom of the tree,
Right.
they have very few friends in this world.
Right.
So out there, in the Western world, with very few deep spirituality, you can feel very lonely.
Yeah.
And you can feel you're different from the rest, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
So when I come here and I meet the unlimited family, wow, it's like coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. Of course, India is different, but when you travel a lot, I traveled a lot, you learn to understand all cultures has plus and minus.
Yeah.
And mine have the Scandinavian culture plus and minus, the Indian is plus and minus. And somehow I have to learn to go beyond all of that.
Yeah.
And try to see the positive in whatever
And
there
not
is.
judge anything.
No. But of course, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
When you come here, you know. The capital of Denmark the whole Denmark is the size of Ahmedabad.
Oh.
And in Sweden, where I'm from, you can drive for hours and you don't meet a single car, it's only forest.
Yeah.
And I brought my mom here once, and she said, she was in her 60s maybe at that time, and she said from the airport in Delhi to the BK Center in Delhi, she's never seen so many people in her whole life.
Yeah, that's true. But more the people, the more service you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the number of people here.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've also been a part of UN climate change conferences.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that and your contribution to that. And as an individual, I want to know that what we can do so that we're not causing any harm to the atmosphere, what points that we can keep in our mind so that we make sure that we're not causing any harm.
Yeah, this is a very big question again. But we started the Brahma Kumaris Environment Initiative back in 2009,
Okay.
when there was a big UN conference coming to Copenhagen.
Oh, nice.
So we started the Brahma Kumaris Environment Initiative. And we thought our expertise is to change your mindset and consciousness.
Right.
And that was a new thought in the climate change and environmental work at that time.
Yeah.
It's more about technology and it's more about policy. So we developed our environment initiative, and our message has become more and more relevant by time. And now everyone speaks about there has to be a will to use renewable energies, to care for nature and environment, otherwise it will not happen.
Yeah.
And we see that today.
Yeah.
We have the money, the technology, but the will is not there.
Yeah.
And where does the will come from?
From within.
From within. And what will are we talking about?
To save the...
To
protect the environment.
Yeah.
Be caring enough.
To care.
Yeah.
So the will to care often comes from, you said, how can I not cause harm to the environment? And that I have to stop causing harm to myself.
Correct.
Yeah. If I cause harm to myself, I will automatically, no matter what, cause harm to you and to the environment. Basically to the world around me.
Yeah.
And my life is sacred, your life is sacred, but the environmental, the living entity of the planet, Mother Earth, is also sacred.
Exactly.
And as time goes by, we realize we are more a part of the big system.
Yeah.
So the more we pollute the air, the more I will suffer also.
Correct.
It's not I'm polluting the air and it's different from...
Correct.
No, I'll suffer.
Yeah.
Respiratory diseases is the biggest disease nowadays on the global level.
Yeah.
So I learned to not causing harm to myself by having the right thoughts, having the right diet.
Having the right thoughts also matter?
Yeah, because causing harm starts there.
Oh, on the minutest level.
Yeah, yeah. The power of thought is the power to create. The smallest bit of creation is one thought.
Yeah.
And from thought, your feelings come.
Right.
So I don't think negative. I take things as they come. I embrace the change.
Yeah.
I turn things around and see the positive in everything.
Right.
And it was a very good point you said in the beginning about change. Many people are resistant to change because they think it will bring something less than they have at the moment.
Right.
But if change can mean progress instead.
Correct.
So I progress through change.
Yeah.
So I stop causing sorrow and I take care of my thoughts and I develop a caring nature for myself, for relationships, and then automatically for nature.
Yeah.
And when you feel this close relationship, you don't want to harm. You don't want to harm your family because you're close to them.
Right. So it all begins within when we start to love ourselves, and then it will progress towards the nature as well.
Yeah. So nowadays lifestyle is a big topic, and India's actually delegation and campaign to the climate change conferences is about lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I feel that Brahma Kumari's old philosophy is becoming more and more relevant and more politically correct, actually.
Yeah.
That a lifestyle that doesn't pollute and doesn't harm. I have to be contented from within.
Correct.
And then when I'm contented within, I don't have too much consumption on the outside.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't put pressure on the environment.
Do you think it is going in the right direction, or something more needs to be done, or do you think we are on the right path?
We're on the right path for personal transformation. More and more people are waking up for personal transformation.
Correct.
And whatever will happen on the outside, we will have to see.
And what is that one thing, sister, that you would want to share with our viewers today? Any specific thing that you would want to share or want to bring a change upon?
Yeah, I would say keep going, keep smiling, and keep being strong on the inside. And I think everything will be okay eventually.
Isn't that easier said than done, be strong on the inside?
It is. Everything is easier said than done. Yeah. Easier also to think that everything will be okay is easier said than done.
Yeah.
So I met a prisoner, and he was so unsettled and upset, and I couldn't reach to him. And I couldn't say anything. I had nothing to say. I couldn't say he's a soul. I couldn't talk about God. I had nothing to say. And I know I need to comfort him. And the only thing left I could say with conviction was that everything will be okay. And he looked at me and said, really? And you know, you have to speak the truth there. You can't... And yes, I say, it will be okay. And it felt so peaceful.
It made him relax?
Yeah. Because I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I believe it so strongly.
Yeah.
He also believed
it. It reached him.
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you.
And if you can talk more about the service that Brahma Kumaris are doing in current times to bring about the change in making people strong from the inside. Apart from meditation, anything else that the organization is doing?
I mean, we have leadership courses, we have workshops on resilience, we have so many women's empowerment workshops. In the Environment Initiative, we have a campaign called 10 Ways to Change the World, 10 positive values that will bring a change in society and in the environment. And empowerment is one of them.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of practice. But it comes back to the core philosophy of who you are on the inside, that you're a soul and you can't die.
Yeah.
You will live forever.
Right.
And that we have a common home, everyone, a home of light.
Yeah. It's so interesting to see that earlier when you didn't believe in soul, and now you so strongly believe in it that it's so lovely to see that.
Yeah.
And thank you, sister, for taking out time to speak with us. It was
Thank
an
you.
Amazing experience, a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for good questions. Okay.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.